You get an RKO out of nowhere. 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 I'll even get an RKO out of nowhere. Hey, nothing that you say, nothing that you'll ever take from me. And tonight in Knoxville's Light, hey, it's an RKO Symposium for the fans of Knoxville. Yes, they will enjoy the Randy sides. I'm John Rant with my review of WWE Raw from Knoxville, Tennessee. 20 years of Randy Orton. The highs, the lows, the stuff they don't want to talk about, like who did he win his first world championship from? Wait, I know. I can't talk to the guy, though, because he is hung up at the moment, and his wife is tied up in a phone call, and his son is sleeping. So yeah, let's just ignore all that, and let's talk about 20 years of Randy Orton, riddles in the ring, and people are around the ring, like the Street Profits, that they're currently feuding with. Why in the world? Why? Why are they doing this? Why do they have people out there that they're feuding with? I mean, I know we can drop all pretense because Vince McMahon has been letting us know this has all been, hokey and everything for a while, but they literally have been feuding off and on for the past couple months. Try to just have a little bit of clarity, a little bit of stability, but oh boy, this show certainly did not have a whole lot of stability. It had some good stuff, and then went right into the goddamn pits, the bottomless pits, as it were. And Boogeyman decided to come out eating worms, and how is that man almost 60 and still in incredible shape? Good genetics. So, Riddle has people around the ring, and Carmella, Theory, and Rollins, who apparently stole the green pajamas from the Mighty Morphin Power Green Ranger. Anybody that remembers when the Green Ranger did that stuff, if you remember that, please let me know in the comments. So Orton gets a huge standing Ortvation. Proud of that, even though everybody pretty much turned it off after those puns. I was born in Knoxville, he says. Goes over his various feuds. Thanks, Mick Foley. Easy for me to say. Unlike The Undertaker, who forgot to thank him and a few others. But then again, he had to do his sermon on the Lone Star Mount. So, Cody comes out to celebrate. It's like, adrenaline in my soul. Every capital out of control. And, yeah, Cody's out there, and then Rollins interrupts. Then Ezekiel shows up, and then Owens comes seemingly from somewhere. The janitor's closet, I assume, because he walked through the crowd. And Orton's yelling, the Usos are yelling, everybody's yelling, loud noises. Then Pierce shows up and says, I'm going to make a huge 8-man tag. Oh, that's fucking original. So yeah, it's going to be Rollins, Owens, the Usos versus RK-Bro, Cody, and Ezekiel. Whew. I like Kane better when he was wearing a mask and not talking, before proving that he's a heartless bastard that doesn't understand how homelessness works, or how anything works, in all honesty. Glenn Jacobs can suck a fucking rotten egg for all I care. There's believing certain things, and seeing certain things in a different way, and then there's being an idiot like him. So, Sonya gets no TV entrance, which should have indicated to us what was going to happen with this match. It was going to be shenanigans! Bianca taking on Sonya, and Sonya gets launched over the announcer's table within a minute and a half and gets counted out. No, I slipped. This is no count out. And then she says restart with no count out, so Bianca whips her with her hair. But then Sonya uses a chair and we get a DQ. No. She did this and I retaliated. No count out, no disqualification. So then she calls Carmella and Zelina to the ring. Carmella and Zelina that were fighting 3 weeks ago and split up. So this burnt piece of beef jerky and Dollar Store CM Punk could go on their honeymoon. That I give all of 5 years of their marriage lasting, if that. I actually don't think it's even going to last that goddamn long because those two vapid twats will annoy the piss out of even each other, which is saying something. So yeah, they were fighting 2 or 3 weeks ago and now they're back together. Why? What the fuck is storyline continuity? So, this was abysmal, by the way. Sonya did get snatched up. Bianca just catching her right up there and hitting the KOD 1, 2, 3. And then we go backstage after a bit, and Sonya is arguing with Zelina and Carmella. She slaps the girl from the Land of Oz and then slaps the burnt piece of beef jerky. You don't get your tag title shot. Ha-ha! Why are they back to get... Why? Please, be consistent. Please. Try to have a little bit of consistency. Vince, I know that your legs don't fucking work. We saw how you took the stunner, but god damn it. Edge is on his throne. Priest is in an S&M vest. Stop thinking about it, Rox. I know you're thinking about it. Edge took a shot at the people that voted for Kane, and he's not wrong. You're all idiots if you thought that Kane had some good ideas. So anyway, he tells Styles to hug his kid with his one good arm. My God, Richard Kimball's been looking for AJ Styles all this time. Priest says he will punish Balor. Again, Rox, you stop thinking about it. Veer then came all over the son of Sam Smothers, and then kept coming all over his back, and submissions hurt more on the announcer's table. Yeah, Veer keeps coming and coming and coming all over people. MVP shuts down the what chance, or tries to. Lashley comes out to face Edward James Olmos in an arm wrestling match. The dubbed-in crowd noise. It was like somebody hit the button at the wrong time where it was obvious nobody was cheering. Now Lashley's over. Edward James Olmos is there as well. He is better than Giant Silva Jr. on AEW television, which isn't saying much, but it is what it is. Lashley wins, while MVP keeps throwing jabs at him, and then Edward James Olmos picks up the table awkwardly with it around him, and then keeps hitting him. It's like I'm hitting you with a walker. I'm doing this. Press down. Why do I have no neck? He's doing this. And then he tries to hit him. Repeat, this was bad. This was really, really bad. Really, really bad. So then recast the Rollins, Owens, and Cody from last week. And now Jem and the Hollowbecks is here. And that's what Becky's new deal is. She's either Pat Benatar or Jem and the Hollowbecks. I like Jem and the Hollowbecks, personally. Does anyone remember Jem and the Holograms? Does anyone remember that watching this show? So, she's distraught. She's hit rock bottom. And she's had enough and everything. She's going to get the title back. Nobody's going to stop her. And she vows, I'm going to regain the championship. No one can stop me. And then here's the Empress. Asuka has been off of television for about 8 fucking years. Actually, it's been 8 to 9 months. She helped WWE, through the pandemic and did a whole lot of great stuff. I believe she has a kid or two, has other business ventures, and they gave her some time off. Now, I think she had an injury, and then they just kept giving her time off and finally gave her something to do. But she says, I'll stop you, Becky, because nobody's ready for Asuka. Then she flicks her nose. Why that's funny, I don't know. But good to see Asuka back. She seemed to be having a goddamn blast. That was fine. I'm looking forward to that. Give them 15 minutes and actually let them go out there and fucking wrestle and don't do shenanigans. Don't put any comedy bullshit on before, like you did with Zayn versus Knoxville. They pretty much wrecked night 2. Thank you very much, Vince. I can't wait till you leave this earth. Let these two actually do some good stuff. But it is the Warrior versus the Mudder after 2 years. Anybody who gets that, well, you get it. So, the prophets say shit and I don't care. Insert Roddy Piper line about Mr. T. That's what I wrote down. Here's Balor and we go to break. Then Edge is on his throne in public while Priest makes his entrance. The music kept playing. Edge's music kept playing, seemingly because they had to roll him out on the throne. I know he's old, but he's not that old. And then Priest gets his entrance. Representing Judgment Day. You know, there was another Canadian that actually unleashed Judgment Day on his family. We could talk about that. He won the 2004 Royal Rumble. Oh, wait, I already talked about that before. Priest took on Balor. Look, they worked well. They work well together, but I didn't care much about this feud when it first happened, and now it's like it's just starting again, but we're supposed to care because of what happened before. Balor sold his neck, and Priest won. And then Miz TV with Theory. Why should I care? Honestly, why should I care about Theory? Austin Theory, whatever. Theory of a board man. Theory of a bland man. That's what he's going to be called from now on. So, Ali is back. And he's going to job the Theory. Look, I am very happy that Ali is back. He requested his release. Apparently Vince did not want to give him his release, despite the fact he released so many goddamn people. And Vince says, oh, you still work here? And wait, you're Mufasa. Oh, that's so funny. If I wanted to laugh, Miz, Mustafa said. And it's like, I'd watch you wrestle. And they're trying to do shoot stuff. Look, Ali is well-spoken, and Ali could be a big star elsewhere. They have given him so much bad shit. So much bad shit. The group that used to call themselves Retribution was pretty much the career killer right there. I hope that this works out for Ali. He talks about Theory having being all biceps and no balls. And Theory texted Vince, and Vince said, "Oh yeah, Miz, it'll be you versus Ali. It's okay." I have a hard time believing that Vince would have texted back that soon, or even knows what the hell a text is. So, it's Miz versus Ali, and I really hope this works well for Ali. I have a hard time believing that Vince is going to be smart, like when he should have given him the goddamn Money in the Bank in 2019, and he didn't. And then he did the retribution bullshit, and then they kept doing this stuff back and forth where then he was a heel, and then he wanted to go home and get released because he would stop, don't do this shit anymore. It's sad. It's really, really sad because Ali is talented as hell. I don't know if this is going to... I give it 8 weeks. I give it maybe till Money in the Bank. I'm trying to think Money in the Bank actually might be a little more than 8 weeks, but still, I give it till then. And then I think they're just going to give up, which is sad. And he's competing. He's going to be in a U.S. title feud. Yeah, congratulations. He's working, towards gaining a championship that hasn't meant jack shit since John Cena had his open challenge. And maybe since Rusev had again. The whole point is, Rusev, now Miro, he was a great U.S. champion. Or so, what? It just seemed they could have done so much better with the mid-card title. It's hard to buy into anything that they could be doing with Ali. I hope it works. So, Make-A-Wish plug. Philanthropy is the future of marketing. It's the way brands are going to succeed. Aha, stupid Stephanie McMahon, you fucking twat. So, Orton is talking to noted moron Glenn Jacobs. Ali versus Miz. Yeah, they had the match, by the way. I may have already tipped my hat on how I felt about it. Corey's commentary is absolutely abysmal. People say, he's getting fed stuff by Vince. Sure, Corey's also a natural asshole that is not nearly as good of a commentator as he thinks he is. In fact, he's kind of absolutely fucking shit. He's one of the worst commentators they've had in a while. After being one of the best commentators they had in NXT, and at least in the early days of him being on the main roster. And then Corey just became a caricature. And a caricature on top of a caricature. So I really think that we need to put a shock collar on Kevin Dunn, so every time an unnecessary camera cut happens, it shocks him and keeps shocking him more and more and more. I will never forgive Kevin Dunn's mother for giving birth to him and not doing the right thing so she could have prevented his existence on this planet. Fuck Kevin Dunn's mother. I hope that she's rotting. So anyway, Ali wins. Cool. They could give him 8 straight wins in a row, and guess what? It's going to be hard to buy into it because of the stuff that they've done before. Yes, he got injured in the build to WrestleMania. They wouldn't have given him the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35, and they lucked into Kofi Mania. It sounds like I'm bitter because WWE could be a whole lot better. Raw has been statistically better than SmackDown, but that's not saying much because SmackDown's been utter shit. So, Ciampa then attacks Ali. Oh my goodness. He's upset that Ali's no longer a cop. If you know, you know. Cut to Rhea and break. Rhea has had enough, and I was really trying to focus on what Rhea was saying. She's frustrated. She wants to be on top or be a top. I'm not exactly sure. She looked fucking great. Liv attacked her, and we got a fracas with a camera, not understanding how to shoot it. And officials coming in, and it's all crowded. But you know what? I usually have to go to a different kind of website to see 2 dirty blondes fisting each other. Especially when one is petite and one's an Amazonian Australian blonde. So, that doesn't even make sense. So, Owens, Rollins, and Usos were talking after Owens sent Gable away. Can they please send Gable somewhere else? Please. It's not good. He's not going to be any more than a guy that does goofy catchphrases that's taking pins. They lucked into, him and Otis sort of working as a team because every thumb soldier needs a general. Capital Cody is here. That's his name from now on. So we cut to Steve Patrick talking to MVP and Edward James Olmos. It's a match at WrestleMania Backlash. Edward James Olmos versus Lashley. We get 10 minutes of entrances for this 8-man tag, and then we get a jump start at the bell, and then we get a break. Rollins, Owens, Usos, Cody, Ezekiel, and RK Bro. That's 8-man Human Centipede together, and whatever. Who wants to hear Zeke speak? And Owens yells, "No one, you're a wrestler." That's fair. And then at one point, Orton is just throwing people around, pokes Owens in the eye, ow, my eye, and then he gets dropped. And then RKO Symphony, that's right. And 1, 2, 3, one of the Usos gets pinned. That's how you celebrate 20 years of Orton. Don't get me wrong. The opening was fine until it went off the goddamn rails. Oh, and they did some 24/7 bullshit. See, I forgot to mention that stuff. The stuff about, the mixed tag and everything. You know why? You know why I forgot to mention that? Because it was fucking embarrassing. Reggie and Dana against Tamina and Tozawa. R-Truth as a referee. Truth tried to pin Dana after the goddamn thing. And it's fucking wrestling death. It's so goddamn bad. So fucking atrocious. That's it. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.